Once the model is built, now the fitted model or the built model has to be checked for its accuracy, right? So it's a very important topic before proceeding this model to be taken for consideration into deployment, because any model whatever is generated from using the algorithms that we are looking at, the first algorithm being your linear regression, doesn't have any proof that the computed model will perform well in all environments. How to check it becomes the matter of this session, right? So this is what we are going to see. We'll see training and testing, and then what are the metrics that are being used to check the quality of the fitted model, and then we will end up with different kinds of errors that we need to understand and have a look at, right? So moving into data set splitting, already we had a discussion about this in our previous sessions. To just have a small recap, so if you have a data set having n number of attributes and m number of rows are what we call as the experiences. Before getting into the model, okay, the data set needs to be split into two types, or what say two parts, right? So one we call it as your training, and second we call it as your testing. Okay, so what is training? This is the set of experiences that we are going to use for training the machine learning model, right? So there are a lot of ways in which you can divide it into training and testing. Okay, but general convention is that 80 to 20, 80 is to 20 is the normal convention that people use. Okay, so 80% of whatever data you have at your hand can be used for training, and 20% can be used for testing. Then how will you divide this 80 to 20? It's a random sampling, right? So you have to divide 80% of your data, okay, from the data set, computed with random indexing using the random number generation, okay, and the indexes will be segregated and will be taken as a training data set. Remaining will be removed and will be taken as a testing data set. Okay, this is one way. But while doing this, we have to make sure that the data set that you are taking for training and testing has to be stratified. Okay, what is stratification, right? Again, suppose if you have a stratification, won't be of much importance in prediction, it's more of comfort in classification. But in general, what stratification is that all the data experiences that you take for training has to be a representative data set, right? So let's say if you have two class of data that has been mixed in your data set, you should not have all the training data falls into one class and all the testing data falls into other class. Then what will happen? You are giving training to the system on one perspective and you are trying to test it on the different perspective, right? So that has to be removed, and the representative samples of what your data set is having has to be there both in training as well as your testing, right? So that's a very broader area that you need to understand about how to divide. But as of now, given a data set, 80-20 is the rule, but you can have your proportion of how much you can take it for training or testing. Okay, also you can make the entire data set to go for training, and the same can be used for testing also in the to start with in order to validate the training data set. Okay, now what are the metrics that we are going to have? Okay, so normally in regression three different metrics will be used. One is mean absolute error. Okay, so where the small yi refers to the actual value that we have as the output in our data set. Capital yi is the value that is predicted by using the fitted model, right? So we are computing the slope and intercept. With that, we are going to give x as the input and calculate what is yi. That is what capital yi means. So actual minus your predicted. Okay, we are going to sum up the difference for all the experiences that we have and take its average, that is mean absolute error. There is one problem with it, right? Not problem, one limitation, right? So it won't take the magnitude alone, rather the sign in the sense, right? So if actual is greater than predicted, okay, so you'll end up with a positive value. If actual is less than predicted, you will end up with a negative value. Okay, but difference is a difference, right? So not about this sign, and hence we, in order to avoid the sign problem, we go for mean squared error. Okay, we square the difference, so what will happen? Yeah, so your sign will go off, only magnitude will remain. Okay, you apply the same formula, you will end up with mean squared error. Okay, now okay, we have squared up, so this is good for large errors. But in order to bring back the actual amount of your the error that is there in the data set, this entire equation will be taken as square root, where we end up with RMSE, that is root mean square error. Okay, any of these you can use, but the general standardized metric that we will be using for identifying the total loss that happened due to fitting the model is RMSE. Right. Now, so we have two important metrics. That one, we say it is accuracy. Accuracy refers to how much accurate the model is. Okay, you understand? The two terms may appear the complement of other, but it's not actually the case. It may be in some situations, right? So what is accuracy? In your training data set, if your output is 50, okay, let's say if your model is going to give that 50, we say that particular experiences holds good. Okay, so such kind of number of experiences we took, and we say these many, let's say you have used 20 data for training the data set, and your fitted model gives only 10 correct output, okay, which is mapping. So 10 divided by 20 is the accuracy of the model. We're right. So 50% the system gives you good thing. Okay, but what is loss? Loss includes your total errors that happened in the system. Okay, at some cases when you go for classification, it may be the complement, but in regression it need not be like so. So we worry about the loss more than the accuracy, because when you reduce the loss, automatically the model becomes more accurate, right? So how to reduce the loss? We have to fix up M and C in such a way, that is slope and the intercept in such a way that the model suits good. Okay. So now, with these things into mind, that a model first has to be trained and then it has to be validated and tested. We have different data sets that are in our hand. One, we call it as training data set. This is the data set which we use for training the model. Okay. Second, we have validation data set. So this is this could be even a part of training data set or a part of testing data set, or you can have a separate set of rows designated as validation, which you think can give you feedback. Okay. For example, let's say you may have 60 students in a class. Okay. If you are for example, if you have 60 students in a class, if let's say if I have around 60 students in my class, when if I'm trying for a new technique to improvise the learning strategy, I can use 30 of my students, okay, to train themselves using that model, and 10 good students, good in the sense who can give proper feedback to me for validating the fitted data set. Okay, so 30 students I'm going to use for training with my new technique. Once that is done, I can ask the feedback from a particular portion of the students to clearly understand whether I can go with as such the procedure trained model, or whether I need to fine tune it, okay, by improvising something or anything. So what is required here? That validation data set that you choose have to be unbiased. If it is biased, then the situation will become worse, and hence it needs to be unbiased. Okay. So that is that. And third is your testing data set. It's obvious that we are in need of a set of rows to identify how much is the accuracy of our model, or how much is the loss that we have encountered out of the model, right? So this training data set, you will have training errors, okay, that needs to be rectified first by adjusting your MNC. With that, then you can go for validation data set. This validation data set also will give you some kind of errors, which is called as your validation data set. This can be taken as a feedback, okay, to again retrain the model based on your requirement. Okay, so once it is completely done, you can go for testing it with the test data set, which can give you the proper output, right? So this is the glimpse of the error and loss that is there in the linear regression. Before closing the session, we will look at the working model of how the errors are going to be calculated. Continuing with the same data set which I have given you earlier. Now, till this, what we have seen, we have predicted the value, and we have identified this. Now coming to metrics. Okay, so there is a package, sub package called metrics in under sklearn that can give you all the three metrics, okay, evaluated in a single with a single command. So all the three we are going to print: mean absolute error, mean squared error, root mean squared error. So what is that we need to pass? Train underscore y is nothing but the set of all placement values we have. The same we have predicted, and that is stored in y underscore predicted. So this is your actual value and this is your predicted value. Both you pass to the corresponding function. This is the actual errors. The mean absolute error is 4.7. Mean squared error is 53.55, and if you take root mean square error, it is 7.31. Okay, so 7.31 in the sense around 92 percentage of proper results we can assume. Okay, and the same there is one more library called R2 score. Okay, so in under sklearn.metrics there is one more library called R2 score. Okay, so it's very similar to what we have calculated over there, so that also you can use. And it also will give you the same kind of results. Okay, so both are different ways of calculating the error. That's it. Okay. Now I have shown you how to, because the above process we haven't splitted the data set into training and testing. We have used the training data set itself as the testing data set. Now again I'm showing you how to split the data set. Okay, so for splitting into by using random values, we have train underscore test underscore split package. So now train, test, train y and test y, four different outputs we are going to get. Okay, so what are the values? Data file x value. What is x? The values of independent attribute, that is year, then the values of dependent attribute, that is placement, and then how much percentage are you going to give. Okay, test size is equal to 30, means that 70% will go for training and 30% will go for testing. So accordingly, if you take this data set, okay, random numbers will be generated and 16. So how much is 70% of? So 70, 14 rows. So 14 rows will be selected for training and remaining 6 rows will be taken for testing. Okay, so that will happen randomly, and when you print, that's we have printed train x and train test. You can see how much: 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, and then 14. Okay, after that testing comes, which has actually 6 columns. Okay, this happens at random. If you rerun it again, it's not mandatory that the same data has to be there. It can go even randomly. Okay, now once having done that, now how the data has to be fitted with train x. Okay, so the same we are using with train x and train y. The model has been fitted. You can see the there is a slight change in coefficients because the previous model was trained using 20 rows. Now it has been reduced to 14 rows, and accordingly there will be a data loss. Okay, so now how to predict? What to predict? We have to use the testing data set. So test x is what needs to be predicted. So same way I have printed for the 6 rows what is the predicted value. Like the same way we have calculated the mean absolute error. So you can see an increase in error values. Okay, because the number of data sets is reducing. Okay, as and when you reduce the number of data sets or the experiences that you have at your hand, there will be definitely a drop in your accuracy, and the error rate will increase. Okay, so proportionately, and hence the number of experiences is a matter of interest that we need to take care of. Okay, hope you would have understood the concept of training and splitting and the metrics. Okay, thank you.